For some people, one of the most difficult times while speaking is getting started. It's getting those first few words out. My name is Michael Williams, and today I want to give you a high-level overview and an introduction to step 3 in this 7-step series. The series is entitled 7 Steps to Quickly Achieve Smooth, Calm, Confident Speech. And you can register for this series for a limited time for free. It's absolutely free. And I've included a bonus course in there called my Mental Training Passive Learner, or Mental Trainer Passive Learning. That's included. It also comes with a mobile application. All of this is absolutely free, so I encourage you to take advantage of it now before it's no longer available. So let's get started talking about this step of helping you use naturally introductory sounds, words, and or phrases. Getting started speaking using naturally sounding introductory words, phrases, or sounds. What do we mean when we say naturally sounding introductory words? Naturally sounding meaning they're things that people use when they're speaking all the time. And when I say all the time, I don't mean one person uses them all the time. Sometimes they do. But if you look and listen, you'll hear the vast majority of people using introductory words, phrases, and or sounds. Let me give you some examples. You're going to hear lots of people using so, well, now, but, right? Lots of other introductory words, phrases, and sounds. An introductory phrase could be a whole phrase that you use to get started. So, for example, let's say you wanted to ask someone what time's the meeting started. And immediately, as soon as you have that thought, what time does the meeting get started? For some reason, that word "what" doesn't want to come out of your mouth. So what do? You feel stuck. You're blocking. You can't say what you want to say. Well, now you have options. Now you can say, "So what time does the meeting start?" I said, "So what time?" Now, what time does that meeting start? Hey, listen, I had a question for you. What time does the meeting start? That time I just used the whole phrase. All right. So here's the strategy, the philosophy, if you will, the rationale behind this strategy. The more control you have over your speech, the freer you feel, the more confident you feel. The more options you have when you're speaking, the more control you feel like you have, the freer you feel, and the more confident you feel, and often the smoother you speak. It's when you feel boxed into a corner where you can't say what you want to say that you feel pressured, you start feeling anxious and nervous, and that triggers stuttering. I didn't say cause, but I said triggers. So when you feel boxed in the corner, you don't have any options, you got to switch words, you got to push it out, and just, I got to get this out, you got to hurry up and get it out. That's what triggers stuttering and blocking and anxiousness and so forth and so on. When you have options, and there's various ways that you can say it, right? And you just allow your brain to choose whichever way comes naturally, whichever way fits best, then you feel more relaxed. Now you're taking the pressure off. Now you feel more confident. Now you're able to speak better. So if I need to get started saying something, I know that I have many different ways I can say it. I can say, "So what time does this, what time does this?" Or if I'm ordering food, "Let me see what I'd like." Notice I said, "Let me see what I like." So here's a couple of things I want you to remember. Now, remember, I'm just giving you an overview of this. We go a little deeper in the step. But when you use sounds like you want to keep them quiet, kind of low, kind of quick. You just want to use them to get the air flowing, to get the air going, right? You don't want to or here's a word that I don't really like to use a lot at all, especially in the beginning. Right, you don't really want to do that. I would prefer using a quiet, quick and even that's not the best, but if you use it as quiet, it's quick, most people won't even hear. So say, "Oh, what time are we going?" Like I just said, "What time are we going?" Most people are not even going to notice that. Let's see what we're going to do. But mostly you probably just heard, "Let's see." We just heard a little, let's see what we're going to do. I'm not sure, right? So using this, somebody says, "Well, that's a crutch, Michael." Well, it can be a crutch if you depend on it for the rest of your life, but it's also very strategic. Again, you can disagree with me, and you have a right to do that. And you can say, no, I don't want to do that. And if you figure out another way, then take that way. This is very strategic. And the reason it's strategic is because, first of all, I've seen it work for people, used it myself, and it makes sense that it's strategic because you're using it to give yourself options so that you don't back yourself in a corner. You're using it so that you can feel free to get started even when your brain tells you that you can't. Your brain will shut you down and say, you can't say this. So you're tricking your brain by saying, yes, I can, because I'm going to say it this way. So if you say, what do I want to eat? Let's see. Instead of saying, let's see, and the let's doesn't come, I say, let's see. Okay, now my brain didn't expect the so now I just tricked my brain. So let's see what I want. Or it didn't expect the so I was able to say it because it wasn't fixated on the so or the or whatever else I might say, right? That sounds very natural. It's not fixated on that. It's fixated on the word that I want to say. Here's a good example. Your name. So often people have a problem introducing your name. Why their name? Because that's the most important thing that you need to say in that moment. That's the most important subject. So you've had some trouble or issues with saying your name in the past. Now it's become a big issue. Your brain is focused on it. It's a problem. It starts shutting you down. So what I've done in the past with some of my clients, it says just use an introductory phrase or a sound before saying your name. So I had one young lady that lived in Mexico, and she just threw a little in front of saying her name. And instantly she was able to introduce herself. So guess what happened? As she started being able to introduce herself, just with a little quiet, quick her brain took the attention off of it, took the focus off of it. It wasn't a problem anymore. Then she started just saying her name whenever she wanted, right? And then as she was able to just say her name, then it was no longer an issue. So then when there was an instance where maybe she was a little bit more under pressure or maybe she became conscious of it, then she just threw the little in front of it, and she was still able to say it smoothly. There's no stress involved. There's no pressure involved. Just throw the in front of it when you need it, and when you don't, you just leave it in the tool bag. It's all smooth. It's all cool. It's all okay. So that's what I want you to understand, is that give yourself options and don't look at this as being a crutch. Look at it as being strategic steps that you're going to use to take the attention off of speech and off of saying these particular words. When you take the attention off and you just focus and you start experiencing smoother, more fluent speech, then you start to believe, wow, I am a smooth speaker. I am able to speak effortlessly. I am able to speak smooth. And once you start to believe that and expect that of yourself, then your brain takes the attention off and you start finding that you're speaking without thinking. You're speaking without anticipating. That's why this strategy is strategic, because it's getting you to a place where you're no longer thinking about speaking. And when that happens, then you're just saying whatever you want to say whenever you want to say it. But as long as you are focused and conscious of these particular words and letters, and you're backing yourself in a corner, and I can't say this, and I can't say this, and I have to say it this way, you're going to be building pressure for yourself that's unnecessary. So using introductory words, so, well, now, okay, using introductory sounds, let's see, so, well, right, just introductory sounds, quiet, quick. Introductory phrases, well, I'm not sure what time we're going to get started. So then someone says, so what's your name? Oh, sure, my name is Michael Williams. Yes, it's Michael Williams. It's Michael Williams. My name is Michael Williams. It's great to meet you. It's great to meet you. My name is Michael Williams. What's your name? Right? Introductory phrases, introductory words, and then some introductory sounds. Quiet, soft, So if I were to ask somebody to say, they could do that. I could say, and I say, what time are we? Right, just blend it right on in. So again, we go into this a little bit deeper in the actual program. I explain it to you a little bit more. Maybe I explain it in a different way. But I want to encourage you to take a look at that step, because I've found that this one step has given people a great deal of freedom and has change the way they speak, and therefore change their life. If you can start getting started now a lot easier, that can change a whole lot of stuff, right? So therefore, it's very important that you have a more open and proactive mindset rather than what we call stuttering mindset, which is very closed. Sometimes it's very limited. It's, nope, can't say this, have to do it this way, have to have perfect speech all the time. When you think that way, you back yourself into a corner, you increase the pressure, and this alone can trigger more episodes of blocking and stuttering. So I do encourage you, register for this course. It's free. We're going to have some links on a little bubble in the top of the screen here. You can click on that and take you right to this course. Remember, there's 2 places where the course resides. One's going to give you video and audio. The other one is going to be its own mobile app with all audio. Okay, so make sure that you get both of those. Thank you so much. Some of you who are out there struggling with your speech, you've been working on your own, you've been watching my videos and so forth, and you found that you've had inconsistent results. You're a professional or you're professionally minded, and you are ready to get more consistent results. You're ready to make a transformation of what I call your speaking identity. Remember, this is an inside job. Transform yourself from the inside out. Sure, we work on your speech, but you also have to transform your speaking identity and your mindset. You're going to hear me talking about this more. Once you do that, then everything else becomes much, much easier. And so some of you have been on this journey by yourself, and you've just had inconsistent results, and you've missed a lot of opportunities, and you feel trapped and limited. Your speech has been a liability to you. So for those of you who are ready to transform your speech from a liability to one of your greatest assets, and you want to accelerate the process, accelerate the journey, then the fastest way and the easiest way is to work with me one-on-one. It just is for now. All right? When people work with me, I've found them achieve the same results that they have been working on for years, sometimes several years, the same results in a matter of a few months, right? So working with me can help you accelerate your progress so much faster, sometimes 10 times faster or more. And that happens because you have accountability, which means you have greater consistency. You get personalization, it's personalized for you. You get feedback, which can save you years of time figuring out how to do stuff on your own. And you get encouragement. A lot of people just quit. They try to do something and they're not doing it correctly, or they're not doing it long enough, right? They're doing it correctly, just not long enough, so they quit. They're not doing it correctly, so it doesn't work, so they quit. And when you're working with someone who's been doing this for a while and has gone through it and has helped hundreds of other people, they can say, no, you're doing it correctly, just stick with it. Or, no, tweak this, do it this way, and aha, now it's starting to work, and now keep doing it, right? Keeps you encouraged, keeps you from quitting and then starting something else, or just giving up hope that you're going to forever be a person that struggles with their speech, which is absolutely not true for the vast majority of people who start. I can't say everyone because I don't know everyone, but I can say that for the vast majority, most people who struggle with this, you can do something about it. Trust me. The instances where you can't is where you limit yourself, right? Or where there's some kind of brain damage or disease. Stuttering is not a disease, but where there's some kind of brain damage like a stroke or something else that simply will not allow you to speak. And even people who've had strokes have done speech therapy and they've been able to recover much of their speech, if not all of it. So your brain is very what we call plastic, and it's able to reorganize itself, to rewire itself, to retrain itself to speak. Other areas of your brain can come in and take over for the damaged areas. This is possible, neuroplasticity. So for those of you that want to accelerate your progress, you're going to want to work with me one-on-one. We're also going to have a link in the description that you can go ahead and click and get to me and just set up a conversation. What we'll do in the conversation is look at where you are now, or assess where you are now, where you'd like to be, and how we can work together to get you there. Once again, thank you so much. My name is Michael Williams, and see you in the next video.